There is a clear progress if you look at the last 10 years, or 10 to 15 years. Like there was really nothing of the sort 10 or 15 years ago, and now there is much more interest and from various quarters about both participating to the process of building the evidence and using it. It's not like a revolution, so it's not that one day everything will be based on evidence. And to be honest, I think all I'm really asking for is that evidence is part of the equation. The way to fight poverty, maybe traditionally, is very much not based on the economics of poverty. So in some sense, the radical rethinking we are proposing is to introduce a little bit of economics broadly defined, like understanding better the motivation of people. I think the state of play before is it's big ideas fighting with each other, whether aid works or trade works or this or that works. And what we are trying to shift it towards is a much more modest approach, much more focused. Let's look at program by program. Why do they work? Why do they work? What makes a difference? What's the detail of the design that makes this program work and that program fail? So it's looking at it from a very, maybe narrow, but much more precise angle. When you really rigorously evaluate the impact of various programs and policy, you often find very different results than what maybe intuition would have told you that you would expect. We look at another program in India, which is actually a national policy, which is quota for women in decision making, and it has a range of effects, and I think those were not expected. So first, women do different things than men in terms of what they invest on. Policymakers invest in different public goods. Maybe that's expected, but then you find better acceptance of women as politicians. Maybe that's a bit more surprising. Re-election rates of women increase. And then even more surprising, you find a change in attitude of parents vis-a-vis their teenage daughters, being more ambitious for their teenage daughters when they've been exposed to a woman politician. To some extent, more of the same. There is a lot of scope to work closely with governments, to be involved, and to not only answer this program work versus that program work, but to be involved in the design of programs to find the design that works the best. Again, Professor Banerjee gave a presentation today about working with the government of Indonesia on finding the best way to target the poor. I think that's kind of the way of the future, is where you're really getting involved from the beginning and trying to answer the questions that are of relevance for the policymaker, and you're doing that embedded in the administration. The answers find their way immediately into policy.